We're landlocked and on a small site. It's over effectively 3 levels in this small footprint. So we've got those challenges. We're close to private hospital, public transport, so we've got a lot of commuter traffic around here as well. We're close to a school, so we've got that side of things. We're in a really busy little area. Bordered on one side by a train line and on the other by Moggill Road.
2 years ago, I would say that probably things needed to be addressed, but we didn't really have a clear-cut way to go through and sort of fix what we needed to do. We would attempt to fix certain issues, but we'd always sort of put a band-aid fix on it, I suppose, is probably a good way to put it.
A lot of them, and probably myself included, we were struggling. We were on this small site, we were incredibly busy. For a lot of the people here, both guest-facing and in the workshop, it was getting pretty close to critical mass. It was tough.
I think morale at that time would have probably been quite low, and the guys would be walking into work, not really wanting to be here. I want it to be an environment where, and it is now and will hopefully progress, a place where you're not thinking about the money, but you're thinking about the job at hand and seeing it as a hobby instead of a job.
The idea was to survey everybody within the department and try and figure out what it was that was bothering people the most, and then we could choose to put our energy and efforts towards resolving that. So a survey monkey went out to all members of staff. I think we had about a 50% return rate maybe on that survey. And overwhelmingly it was about the situation with parking cars as the thing that gave people the shits more than anything else.
We would come in Monday morning, come to work, and you'd have all the jobs there, but you had to go digging to retrieve a car. And then when the job was done, you had to try and find somewhere to park the car that was in front of the car that you had to get out. So it was just not a lot of room to work, and it did make the entire process a lot harder.
We weren't really having lunch breaks because we spent a lot of time moving cars, taking 10 minutes to find a car every 2 hours. I don't think anyone was happy about that, and customers having to wait 10 minutes for us to pull a car out for them when the service is complete.
As you go and grab your next job, where the hell is this thing going to be parked? Is it going to be 3 deep upstairs under the awning here? Is it going to be buried in the ramp? Am I going to spend half an hour on the car before I even get to work on the thing? There was just no set procedure, and no one had any idea how to make it better.
Cameron came down and he was like, I want you to be in Kaizen group. And I was like, what is Kaizen? It's like, it's a group that focus on improving things around this place, and I'm more than happy to have you as an apprentice in that group. And I was like, yeah, for sure.
We analysed it by finding out how many unnecessary movements and then focused more on why those movements were happening. Essentially, we didn't have many processes around parking, so now you get in a car, you know where it goes, and it goes somewhere specifically instead of just going somewhere. Yeah.
We had to even talk one-on-one with some guys because they just weren't sort of buying the chip. We just said that, this is going to make the workplace a better place to work. You need to collect some data, even if there's cars there that don't need, the stroke against the board saying how long it took to get it out or movements of cars per day. At first it was tough, and then any sort of new change we were implementing, it was tough. But what we began to see is when the change would happen, their change would happen as well.
Before Kaizen improvement about this car park situation here, you see everyone stressed and yelling, oh, bugger, oh, put this car here. And you don't see that anymore. Everyone just get the job, knows where the car is, gets the parts clock on, bam, easy.
So everything with the Kaizen, there've been guys that have been here from when it's been really crook to where it is now, nice and healthy. So it's been fantastic to see. Something started and finished.
At the end of the project, after we'd implemented the processes around how the car park operated and vehicle movements on site and the different staging areas for each different type of car, we sent that survey out again. We got probably a 50% increase on the number of surveys returned for a start, and every individual agreed that there'd been huge improvements in just how they felt about coming to work. It's calmer, it's quieter. There's, people aren't rushing around looking for keys or, asking who belongs to that car that's blocking in that car, which is blocking in another car. Just that whole vibe around the place is better. From my perspective, it's been a game changer.